temperature checks, eating in classrooms among schools' reopening guidelines. No mandatory quarantine for employees after interstate travel. Welcome to News on 2. I'm Brendan Lepal. We start the news with Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin returned to work today after undergoing self-quarantine at home for 14 days. In a posting on his official Facebook page, Tan Sri Muhyiddin began his day with an audience and pre-cabinet meeting with the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al Sultan Abdullah Rayatuddin Al Mustafa Billah Shah through a video conference. Tan Sri Muhyiddin then chaired the cabinet meeting with all members of his cabinet, also through a video conference. All the cabinet ministers attended the video conference from two meeting rooms at the Perdana Putra building so as to observe social distancing and health and safety practices. Tan Sri Muhyiddin began self-quarantine at home from the 22nd of May after an officer who attended a post-cabinet meeting he chaired on the 20th of May tested positive for COVID-19. The Prime Minister, however, was tested negative. Throughout the 14-day quarantine, the Prime Minister had continued to discharge his official duties by working from home. The result of the second COVID-19 test he took on the 2nd of June had also come back negative. Temperature screening before entering the school compound and eating in classroom during recess time are among new normal practices that students need to adapt when schools reopen. Education Minister Dr. Mohammad Radzi Majidin said the guidelines stipulated that teachers must carry out body temperature checks when the students enter the school compound, and if they showed any symptoms, then further action would be taken. Students who cycle to school will be asked to rest first as their temperature will be slightly above 37.5 before their body temperature returns to normal and checked again. An isolation room is also a must in every school to accommodate any students with symptoms before contacting their parents and the nearest health center for further action. The new normal practices are among the Ministry of Education school reopening management guidelines to be distributed to schools beginning today. It was also posted on the Ministry's website. The 34-page detailed guidelines were developed in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, MOH and MKN. Meanwhile, Dr. Mohammad Radzi said parents did not have to worry about social distancing during school recess as the children would only be allowed at the canteen area in stages and they would eat their meals in the classrooms. All food in the canteen will be pre-packed and they will be queuing with a 1 meter gap between one person and another before returning to their classroom to eat. In order to maintain social distancing between students, the tables in the classroom must have a 1 meter gap and the surplus students would be placed in the other class. He added the school labs also shared similar setting to ensure learning to be carried out in orderly and safely manner. Commenting on the movement of students in the school area, he said the direction of the students would be marked with arrows to avoid crowding. There is no need for companies to impose mandatory quarantine on staff who have undertaken interstate travel. Senior Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said it is also wrong for employers to make their workers to take annual or unpaid leave for the purpose of undergoing self-quarantine. He said a mandatory quarantine can only be imposed by the government, such as on those who return from overseas or those entering Sabah and Sarawak from Peninsular Malaysia.
Jadi ini hanyalah majikan tersebut yang mengarahkan 14 hari tersebut tanpa mengikut peraturan yang disediakan oleh MKN. Jadi mereka pandai-pandai buat sendiri sajalah. Dan adalah salah pula oleh kerana mereka paksa pekerja mereka di kuarantin 14 hari. 14 hari itu dikira sebagai cuti tanpa gaji.
Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri also said that this might contravene the labour law and as such, actions could be taken against these employers. The senior minister also revealed that police have recorded 572 cases of face mask scams since the implementation of the Movement Control Order, MCO, on the 18th of March. Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said police have received reports of face mask scams amounting to 5.5 million ringgit in losses.
Kebanyakan kes penipuan ini melibatkan urusan jual beli melalui platform Facebook dan juga WhatsApp. Negeri-negeri yang mencatatkan kertas siasatan yang tertinggi adalah 122 di Selangor, 68 di Johor dan 68 juga di Pulau Pinang. Daripada jumlah ini, PDRM telah menangkap 181 individu dan 53 individu lagi telah pun dituduh di mahkamah.
Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri cautioned the public to be wary of dubious online offers and to check reviews and company status before making any purchases. He added that face masks were now easily available, especially in pharmacies nationwide, at affordable prices. On another note, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said to date, 10 construction sites have been ordered to close for failure to follow standard operating procedures during the Conditional Movement Control Order, CMCO. Explaining further, the senior minister said the construction sites were ordered to shut their operation based on inspections made by the Construction Industry Development Board, CIDB.
Jumlah kumulatif tapak binaan yang telah diperiksa oleh CIDB sehingga hari ini adalah 6,559 tapak binaan. Daripada jumlah tersebut, 1,211 tapak binaan mematuhi SOP, 288 tapak binaan tidak patuh kepada SOP dan diberikan amaran. Penguatkuasa CIDB telah mengarahkan 10 tapak binaan ditutup kerana tidak patuh kepada SOP, manakala 5,050 tapak binaan masih belum beroperasi.
Datuk Seri Ismail said in order to resume operation, construction sites are required to screen their workers, especially the foreign workers. He added that to date, more than 30,000 construction workers in Federal Territory and Selangor have been screened for COVID-19. Malaysia reported no COVID-19 death for the 13th consecutive day, with the death toll remains at 115. However, the number of positive cases, or rather new positive cases, has jumped to 227 as noon today, pushing the total number of cases to 8,247. Health Director General Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah explained of this number, 271 cases were foreigners.
270 kes di kalangan bukan warga negara adalah daripada depo tahanan imigresen Bukit Jalil, di mana ini merupakan sampel ulangan bagi orang kena tahan yang dikuarantinkan di depo tahanan ini. Mereka telah terdedah kepada kes positif sebelum ni. Manakala satu kes bukan warga negara adalah dari saringan dari tapak pembinaan Pudu.
Dr. Noor Hisham also said 28 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours, with a total of 6,559 patients discharged since the COVID-19 outbreak began. He added that as of now, there are 1,573 active cases being treated, where 6 cases are being treated in the intensive care unit, ICU, with 2 of them on ventilator support. Still to come, former Chief Minister Tan Sri Ali Rustam appointed as Malacca's 7th Yang Dipertua. Former Melaka Chief Minister Tan Sri Muhammad Ali Rustam has been appointed as the 7th Yang Di-Pertua Negeri Melaka. The instrument of appointment was presented by Yang Di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah to Tan Sri Muhammad Ali in a ceremony at Istana Negara today. The appointment of Tan Sri Ali took effect today for a term of 4 years as he replaced Tun Dr. Muhammad Khalil Yaakob, whose tenure ended today. After the presentation of the instrument of appointment, Al-Sultan Abdullah also conferred the Darjah Kebesaran Sri Maharaja Mangku Negara Award to Tan Sri Muhammad Ali, which carries the title Tun. The ceremony was also attended by Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Chief Secretary to the Government Datuk Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali, Melaka Chief Minister Datuk Sulaiman Mat Ali and State Assembly Speaker Datuk Sri Abdul Rauf Yusof. Tun Muhammad Ali, 70, was the Melaka Chief Minister from 1999 to 2013. The swearing-in ceremony is scheduled to take place at 10 a.m. tomorrow at Balai Istiadat Sri Negeri Air Keroh, Melaka. Now, the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, obtained a 5-day remand order beginning today against 2 policemen in Pulau Pinang for graft. The remand order was issued to an inspector and sergeant at the Pulau Pinang Hospital and Central Lockup in Bayan Baru, respectively, this morning by Assistant Registrar Farhana Abu Hassan. It is learned that the inspector was unwell and being treated at the hospital. The two, aged 46 and 53, were detained for allegedly seeking a 5,000 ringgit bribe from a vape seller yesterday. They were detained separately in Kepala Batas between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. The duo solicited for the bribe as an inducement not to act against the vape seller for opening his business during the Conditional Movement Control Order CMCO. The sergeant had initially solicited and received 3,000 ringgit from the seller. The inspector subsequently asked for another 5,000 ringgit and requested the sergeant to collect the money. Meanwhile, State MACC Director Lim Bee Kian, when contacted, confirmed the arrests. She, however, declined further comment. The Royal Malaysia Customs Department has arrested a 24-year-old man for carrying a parcel containing 4 bags of drugs believed to be marijuana at a shopping mall near Georgetown on Monday. The department's Assistant Director General Enforcement, Datuk Johari Alifia, said the arrest resulted from a raid conducted by the department's narcotic unit at 3:30 p.m. He said upon inspection, 4 bags were discovered containing green leaves, believed to be marijuana, which was stored in 2 boxes. Datuk Johari said the marijuana weighs approximately 480 grams with a market value of 4,800 ringgit. He said this in a press conference at the Pulau Pinang Custom Prevention Complex today. He said the suspect will be remanded for 7 days until the 8th of June and the case will be investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drug Acts 1952. The police arrested 3 men for smuggling 3,840 cans of liquor worth about 63,000 ringgit in Kulim, Kedah. Kulim Police Chief Superintendent Muhammad Yusof Shari said the suspects, aged between 27 and 42, were arrested in an operation in Kampung Lama, Kulim on Tuesday. Superintendent Muhammad Yusof said the liquor were found in a lorry at the location. All suspects are remanded for 3 days under Section 135, Subsection 1 of the Custom Act. Meanwhile, in a different operation, a 46-year-old man was detained for selling contraband cigarettes worth about 10,000 ringgit. Superintendent Muhammad Yusof also said the suspect had been selling the cigarettes since 3 months ago in Pekan Lunas area. He added that the suspect is remanded under Section 135, Subsection 1 of the Custom Act. Local industries and businesses should turn to digitalization as a medium in establishing the Malaysian brand globally in the new normal era. International Trade and Industry, MITI, Deputy Minister Datuk Lim Ban Hong said in a statement that it was important for traders and Malaysians to strike an ideal balance between saving lives and income sources amid the country's battle against the COVID-19 pandemic. He added that one of the alternative approaches to digital transformation is getting local industries to participate in e-commerce activities. E-commerce gives local, small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, the opportunity to market and promote their products to bigger markets as easily as using smartphones. The government has also provided incentives and assistance to encourage e-commerce adoption among SME entrepreneurs. As such, he said, Malaysian companies should view these changes positively and take advantage of the situation to accelerate digital transformation that can help to boost sales volume. According to the statistics published by MITI, in 2018, the e-commerce sector contributed 115.5 billion ringgit, equivalent to around 8% of the country's gross domestic product. The implementation of Employment Retention Program, ERP, and Wage Subsidy Program, WSP, announced by the government during the Movement Control Order period allows companies to continue to sustain in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hence, some employers hope the government will continue the programs under the Economic Recovery Plan, ERP.
As a business owner, I feel very thankful our government continue looking at new initiatives to help our business, to help all the business that suffer during this COVID-19 periods. For example, the program that launched by government, WSP or ERP, is benefits a lot. As our own company, we also apply for a wage subsidies program, WSP, because that cash flow is going to be main challenge for every business in the next few months.
Industry players also hope that the government will continue to ease the financial burden of business sectors and sustain workforce through these initiatives.
However, that has definitely not compensated for the overall drop in business levels that we've seen overall across the economy. People are definitely struggling, and we're seeing that it's going to take time for people to slowly pick back up their business.
Under the WSP initiative, all companies with local employees earning a monthly salary, each of 4,000 ringgit or less, are eligible for wage subsidies. For employers opting to accept this assistance, they are required to retain their employees for at least 6 months, the 3 months during which they receive the subsidies. Under the ERP program, individuals who have been asked to go on unpaid leave will receive a financial assistance of 600 ringgit a month. Going for a quick break, and when we come back, China to allow international passenger flights. Stay with us. And with that, we conclude this evening's News on 2. In our top story, temperature checks, eating in classrooms among schools' reopening guidelines. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon for more updates on the latest happenings around the world. Till then, I'm Brennan Lipol. Good night.